Hey, what's up guys, Keto here and welcome to another video. So today I am finally gonna show you a little bit of the game that I've been working on. If you haven't noticed and if you haven't been following up with the news in the channel, I've been working on a secondary project which is not Dragon's Well. Unfortunately, that game is currently paused. It is Panthera. Now this game, for those of you who still don't know, it will be focused mainly on the Panthera genome. So you'll be able to play as a lion, lioness, leopard, snow leopard, tiger, and even the jaguar. This game is mainly focused on PvE. It won't be massive multiplayer. It will only be single player slash co-op, because of course, yet again, the premise here is so that you can build your own pride with your friends and try to, hunt together to kind of have a little bit more of fun. Now, for those of you who play on console, do not worry, because this game will also come to console if things go well, because we have already been working on implementing the crossplay feature, which will also be implemented. So if you play on PC and you have a friend on Xbox or even PlayStation 5, you will be able to play with them and have a little bit of fun. So before jumping into the prototype showcase that we have been doing until now, I want to give a little bit more information about the game. So Panthera is supposed to be a very hardcore slash realistic game. It won't be as easy and as casual as some of you might think. This game is more for people who want a little bit of challenge and of course want a little bit of realism behavior. This is supposed to challenge you to try and see how many days you can survive, and also in co-op challenge your group of friends to see if you can really take on the big herbivores or even apexes, because yet again you will have herbivores and you also will have carnivores, so you will have a mix of a lot of things going on, and there will be a lot of cool features which are still being worked on that will be a game changer, as some of you haven't even seen in these types of genre. To give you a list of things that will be implemented in the game, a few of them are already being worked on, are already implemented, but keep in mind that this is a prototype. This is not a fully playable game. This is just an idea, and a lot of things will be tweaked and will be changed. And if you have any suggestions, you can head out to the Discord and give a suggestion, give a little bit of feedback, and of course if you have something, videos, audios for some behaviors of different animals out there, you can always send them into the Panthera Discord, which the link will be down in the description below. So the list will be a little bit long, but there are a few things that are essential to have currently for the game loop, but later on we will also implement and work on, so that is not really a priority. Let's say, for example, you will have the scent mechanic, the temperature mechanic, hearing system, the grooming, which yet again, it is not what a lot of people think it is, but I will explain in a little bit, the day and night cycle, the wind system, parasites and bugs, territory system, procedural growth, limited resources such as water, food, etc., a class system, injury system, diet system, health system, energy system, status system, and the physics system. Now there are a lot of things that have like subcategories that I'm not going to go into, but for now those are the main things that we are trying to work on. Half of it are already implemented, the theory is already implemented, other things haven't been implemented yet because it's, like, again, not really a priority, so keep that in mind. So here we are finally in our little prototype game, and as you can see we have a little main growth system. So the same will happen to the model itself, you will start as a sub-adult and then you will grow into the adult stage and elder stage, and then see how long you can basically survive. For now, this is the sub-adult model. Of course, the main will look different. Few parts will grow differently at different types of speed, so you can have a little mohawk or whatever, and hopefully customize your animal. But for now, this is a placeholder for the sub-adult lion. As for the rest, we can ignore all of the logs. We want to focus on the white part on the left side of the screen, because the game will have different types of movements, 3 types of stances, and also a few poses for role playing. So for example, you will be able to go from sneak to walk to amble, trot, canter, and of course sprint. On the stance, you will have high, mid, and low, and we can kind of convert that to standing up as we are currently right now. We also have the mid, which is the crouch position, and then we also have the low, which will be almost a prone position. This is yet again because of how difficult the game will be and how skill gap, will be a thing in this game, so that you don't just run up to the prey and, pounce it or kill it with ease. So hunting will be very difficult, and you will have to study the animal, where to pounce, how to deal with it, and also how to overall approach. The animations, unfortunately, some of them are not yet implemented and in sync. That's why you couldn't really see how it looked when it was crouched and prone. But I can show you guys the animations because they are already done by our beautiful animator. So if we walk a little bit, we have, for example, the sneak, we have the walk, we have the amble. Maybe I will put this in the side camera. We have the trot, and we also have the canter, and we also have the sprint, basically. So you can tell that, I'm just gonna spawn a deer. You can tell that the overall movement is still not good. So this is something that we are going to eventually fix, because a lot of things are still bugged, a lot of things still need to be ironed out, and of course, yet again, animations are one of those. So in the bottom left corner, we have a little very information HUD that a lot of you might be confused on what is what. So we're gonna start this slow and kind of zoom in and try to explain. The yellow bar is your energy. The blue one, which is almost the white, the water droplet, is water. The thing next to it, which almost looks like a black eraser for some reason, is the hunger. You have the body hit points, because each body type or each body part will have its own HP and hit points. So you might get kicked in the jaw and you might break your jaw. You might get hit on your left leg, right leg, tail, upper torso, bottom torso, and of course, like I said, it's realism. So if your head goes to 0 or if your upper torso goes to 0, you basically die. You also have your pawn, little pawn icon over there, that you can actually switch to your claws by pressing C. And this is kind of to have a retractable and unretractable claws, so that when you're playing in co-op or even if you're hunting, you can kind of play fight with your friends without killing them. And it's also something different to have in the game. So if we walk around without our claws, exposed, you can see that it won't consume its durability. But if we toggle on as we walk, our durability will slowly go down. And as you move around, or as you do, intense exercise like running, it will go down really, really fast. Now for that, below that, you have two types of bars, and these are stamina bars. The top one is your front legs, which will be more for attacks, grapples, and stuff like that. And the bar below that is your back leg stamina. So everything that involves running, jumping, it will consume more your back legs. And if you're hunting and doing all other stuff, it will consume your front leg stamina. So it will also depend on exactly what you're basically doing with, your animal. So this is one of the animations that is already implemented. As you can see, we have a lot of them already set up. We just have to implement them, put them in sync, and make them look more natural and of course viable. A lot of the things are still being worked on. A lot of the things are still being managed, but hopefully by the end of May or maybe June, we will have everything working at a 100% pace. Now, the other thing that you guys might notice is the temperature. Now, in Panthera, you will have two types of temperature. You will have your world temperature and you will have your body heat temperature. Will also affect, as you can see, your energy. So if you try to hunt, if you try to run in very high heat days, well, you will suffer a lot when it comes to energy. So you will have to kind of know how to manage your hunting abilities, when to kind of hunt and when not to hunt. And there will also be places that will show you guys in a little bit where you can kind of lay back and enjoy and avoid, getting heat stroke or even, this heat problem. But you can also, of course, hold Z and you will be able to kind of go into a sleep position just like this, so that, as you can see, it will also replenish your energy. But because the food and water goes down real quickly, that's why we will always take damage. And as you can see, the damage spreads throughout your body. So if you don't get food, if you don't get water, you will have this multiplier that will damage all of your body: legs, tail, upper body, lower body, etc. But eventually we will make a specific and more advanced healing system and injury system, so that it doesn't really affect you that much. Now for the fun part, we are working the latest thing that we did work on, and I don't want to spoil, is the hearing system. I don't want to kind of show you how it works because I want people to figure it out by themselves. But there is a hearing system that you have to pay very close attention to your animal to kind of know if something is around you or maybe sneaking up on you, which there won't be any visual cues, there won't be any indications, there won't be any HUDs, because as you know, I prefer to have less HUDs and less image pollution. Another thing about the claws is you will be able to sharpen your claws by finding one of these trees. So you can just come up to them and just press F and you can kind of sharpen them. So if you come up to one of these trees, there will be specific trees, different types of trees and different types of animations. You just come next to them, you press F, and our line will do this little stretch, sharpening the claw animation, which will restore your sharpness to 100%, which is basically the full durability. If you try to hunt with the durability below a certain percentage, you won't be able to grapple, you won't be able to do a lot of damage, you won't be able to bleed, and you also have a higher chance of missing your pounce and just slipping into the ground. So maintaining, the healthy aspect of your animal will be very important. And when I said about grooming, you will have a system where you will be able to lick your own wounds and kind of clean yourself. So after a hunt, you have to clean the blood out of your paws. You have to kind of, if you get sprained or if you have a little laceration, you can kind of go and kind of lick it so that you can stop the bleeding. And you can also use that in co-op to other friends. So that's what I meant with grooming, and it has nothing to do with fur or whatever. It's a system that is going to be worked on, and I think a lot of you guys will enjoy. Now, overall, there are a few other mechanics already implemented. For example, the night vision, which is going to be almost black and white. It's still not something, that looks pretty cool. You can also kind of sit, and relax. You have these poses on. Sometimes it goes to a T-pose. And as you can see, we also have the sleeping mechanics. And that is basically it. The reason why I am not jumping straight into the hunting mechanics is because I want the physics to be well made. Because I want the ragdoll system to be well made. I want hunting to be as immersive as we can kind of do in Unreal Engine. So for now, it's more working on the gameplay loop and of course the locomotion. And after that is done, we're gonna jump into the most interesting and more difficult part, which is the physics and the combat. Because as you know, there will be herbivores and there will also be carnivores. There will be small herbivores, medium herbivores, big herbivores, and there will also be lions, hyenas, leopards, cheetahs, and all sorts of small carnivores which you will have to kind of fight. And fighting carnivores will be very different from fighting herbivores. So that's why I'm just leaving every mechanic to the end to try and make it as genuine as possible. So as for the animations, as you can see, we do have quite a few animations that will again be implemented, which a lot of you will probably enjoy. And this is to kind of give the sense of how the animal is in the wild. This is supposed to be a realistic, more of a realistic approach on how they behave. That's why I said if you have any videos, any type of information that you think is crucial for the game, especially for the lion or even for the NPCs, which we will probably need, you can always send videos, references, sounds, and stuff like that on the Panthera Discord, which the link will be down in the description below. This, for example, is one of the crawling animations. We have the crawling sneak animations. We have the loop, which you basically, when you're standing still. We have the crouch. We have the crouch sneaking, if I'm not mistaken. We have the stand animation with this is the amble. This is the counter. This is the full running animation. This is the sneak animation. As you can see, it's not already implemented, but the animations are there. We just have to kind of sync everything and make it feel genuine when you kind of play. You have the trot that is also right here. And then we have the turning left and right animations, which probably you guys don't really care. And then we have the idle animation. So for now, these are the animations that we have currently implemented and currently in the game. There will be a lot of variant type of animations when it comes to laying down, eating, fighting, doing a lot of things that you see lions doing in the wild. There will be a lot of variations from A, B to C, so that you can have fun by doing role playing with your friends, or maybe, who knows, with an AI family. But for now, this is what I have to show for you guys. Tell me what you guys think. Tell me what you guys want to see in Panthera. And also, if you want to join the Discord, link will be down in the description below. Again, I'm taking my time because I don't want to do the same thing that I did with Dragon's Veil, which probably got a lot of hyped and I was not really anticipating. This time, I'm making everything under the radar, but I do think that you guys need to kind of take a look on how the game is developing. Maybe in the end of the year, if everything goes well, budget wise, etc., if we get a lot of support from you guys, we can maybe speed up a few things, get some people into the project. But for now, because again, I'm the only one funding the project, things are moving slowly and carefully. So if you want to keep an eye out, make sure to join the Discord and also subscribe to the channel and leave a comment for the YouTube algorithm. So without further ado, thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you guys in a next video. Take care and peace.